I wonder when the British royal family will actually understand what they've lost when they drove Meghan out. Will they ever get to that point of realization? I don't know. But I tell you what, I never thought about Meghan's point of view until I read this article. I never imagined that she would class herself quite correctly as one of the most bullied people in the world. And when I read the article, it actually made me feel even sadder for her than I generally do. I'm so glad that Meghan has been able to rise above this Kensington Palace and Buckingham Palace press-seeded bullying and create a life for herself where she's able at least to look happy on the outside when she's at these star-studded events. And I'm pleased that she's not retreated and hidden and not used her power for good like she is doing at the moment. It would have been so easy for her to flick a switch and say, middle finger to everybody, I'm not doing it anymore. She's rebuilding her life without the hate, without the bullying, without that forbearing, overshadowing presence of Harry's family, living a life with the love of her life. Comments are open. Let me know what you think.
Meghan Markle has said this week that she is the most bullied person on the planet. Chloe, is she?
I mean, this is just the most pathetic thing that has come out of her mouth. I mean, tell that to kids who say, you know, get beat up over and over again, potentially, you know, beat up by their parents in abusive households and whatnot.
Benjamin gets bullied at GB News.
Yeah.
Nigel Farage.
Yeah, Benjamin's probably bullied more than Meghan Markle.
Yeah,
I mean,
Nigel
how
Farage took his dinner money off
pretentious
him
are
yesterday.
you, Meghan Markle?
Well, what do we think about this? I mean, Liz, Meghan Markle there, saying to some young girls at a school that she's the most bullied person on the planet.
No,
one of the most.
There's being bullied, and then there's behaving in such a manner and saying things that attract criticism. And I think the criticism can be positive or negative, but most of the criticism of her has been negative, and I think she deserves it. But I don't wish to bully her on live TV.
Oh, well, I mean, there is a flip side to it, Benjamin. Some people consider that Meghan Markle is something of a bully. Look at the number of staff she got through when she was actually living in this country and serving as a frontline royal.
Well, that's true, and there was a massive US magazine report the other day that suggested that some staff were very unhappy in America. But look, I mean, we talk about Meghan Markle like she's Myra Hindley or something. I think a sense of proportion wouldn't go amiss.
I agree, it's a bit harsh on Myra.
Yeah. Or Rose West or any of them, right? You know, we are quite aggressive towards her. We're slightly obsessed in the media, whether it's British or American media, and I can imagine that's not nice to be on the receiving end of.
Yes.
But I do think there's something really off about going and talking to young girls, going and talking to young people and saying, pity me. Well,
in a £2,000 dress.
Exactly. You know, you're worth tens of millions of dollars. You live a life of luxury unimaginable to 99.99% of people on the planet. You should be telling those young people what they can achieve, not what they can fear.
Well,
I think she's always gone on girls, you can do anything. Well, yeah, you can marry somebody rich.
Who's a prince.
And that escalates your status in the world enormously. I think the most bullied person in this story is her husband. I think he's gone from another of my, I wouldn't mind going to the pub with him, guys, to the most emasculated man in the United States.
I completely agree. He is completely pushed around by her.
Hands, you know, she touches his arm.
I try to work it out what it is about her that irritates people. And what have you come up with? I think maybe it's because she's American, and maybe we feel that Harry should have married an English rose.
Either she made Kate cry or Kate made her cry over flower girl dresses. And then she made her staff work. And now she actually got married on this day, but she said she got married on that day. Well, that's it. That's it. That is the smoking gun. I mean, what else can we say that would make Meghan Markle a worse person? Get out of here. These little, it's dumb. Bring us something real. Then we can all get crunk about it.
I think Meghan's decision to say no to the most powerful family in Britain and say no to the most talked about party in town is both admirable and inspiring. What Meghan is basically doing, she's exercised the power of no that comes from a place of self-worth, growth, maturity, and self-preservation.
But do you think she might have sensed she wasn't welcome? So really, it's more that she's been pushed out rather than
No,
not
I don't
here,
think that's the
Daisy.
case. I don't think that's the case because there are many factors here. I think that any wife out there who have bad in-laws like Meghan has with the royal family can deduce that Meghan has just drawn the line in the sand, and she's basically saying, I will attend royal events, but on my own terms. And what is more powerful is that Meghan is saying to the entire world, you know what, I am rejecting any notion that because I'm married into the royal family, I should be subject as bait for toxicity, rage, and abuse. She's saying to society as a whole, you don't get to tell me who I should be as a woman,
But
as a mother, and as a wife.
Seeking attention versus garnering attention. Here's Meghan inside the Children's Hospital Gala and a snippet of the global coverage. Remember this British media post about wearing red? The Mean Girl post is in the comments. The British media wrote this article after Kate Middleton decided to get with her girls and all wear red, the same color, to the same event, after Meghan had let it be known that she was told not to wear the same color as the more senior royals. The article talks about how red symbolizes power and majesty and authority and status, and all of us know that red has to do with power, and Meghan has taken hers back. So let's look back at some of my favorite looks in red. 2016, New York City. 2019, Birkenhead in Morocco. 2020, London. 2021, Montecito. 2022, Manchester. Loved the dress debut in 2021, the year their daughter was born. And love the dress now at the Children's Hospital Gala in LA. Here she is with her friend Kelly, as well as the CEO of the hospital, at whose table they sat at.
These two lovebirds, they're always in the headlines. They're always in the top 10 stories of the digital UK edition of the Daily Mail Online. I don't know what it's like outside of the UK, but the world cannot get enough of these two. You know the score. Comments are open. Would love your opinion. Great that Harry is talking about his children. And if you didn't see this story, he's basically saying that Lilibet has inherited Meghan's absolutely gorgeous hair. What a winning life for a child to inherit gorgeous hair like that, as opposed to Harry's hair, which, as we all know, is less good. That's probably a nice way to say it. But also great that they're starting to open up about their children. And I know the royalists are going to be in the comments. They haven't got any children. They flew them in from Mars. They grew them in the garden, blah, blah, blah. They have no real children. The fact is, these guys do have children. They're entitled to their own privacy. That's why we never see the kids. They are not paid to display their kids like other members of the taxpayer-funded British royal family are. That's why they keep them with a degree of privacy. Sorry, Amazon driver came to the door. That's why they keep their children with a degree of privacy. Go Harry and Megs. Great to see you in the headlines. British working taxpayer-funded royal family. Can you do some good stuff, please? Let me know what you think in the comments.
I think the royal family gave her so many opportunities. They gave her staff, they gave her a house, they paid for her wedding, they gave her, patronages. They gave her the Commonwealth Trust. She was made, trying to remember her title, but she was an ambassador for the Commonwealth Trust. She had all these opportunities. She was given so much to succeed, and we were told that 5 a.m. emails, that she was, busy. These are experienced staff working for the royal household. They've seen it all. A 5 a.m. email isn't the worst thing that they've ever seen. These are experienced, proper aides that know how to operate with difficult people. And I think they gave her absolutely everything. I don't think they could have given her any more. But at the end of the day, she just didn't fancy it. She just didn't want it.
I appreciate that. I take
His
that
question
on board,
was whether the royal family, whether the royal household had helped her enough.
No,
and I think they gave her more than enough help.
But I think that more time, she should have taken more time, and Harry should have encouraged her to take more time to see, is this for me? And it was a very bad fit in the end.
We agree on that bit.
We agree to disagree.
Well, Kate and William's entry into the top digital media stories in the UK literally lasted minutes. This is a screenshot taken when the BBC News Alert told us that Kate had been spotted out and about. And from this story being headline news in the digital Daily Mail, from it to it exiting the top 10, could be measured in minutes. It was seriously less than 2 hours. And this story isn't even in the top 40 stories on the homepage of the Daily Mail today. I think we can all realise what that means for Kate and William and the future of the British taxpayer-funded working royal family. They're just not getting the public attention that previous generations of the British working taxpayer-funded royal family were actually able to achieve. If you look at Meghan and Harry on the other side, Meghan, the red dress, Harry's statesman-like presentations at his charity events, they're still on the homepage almost a week later. I think we do need a debate, putting my serious hat on, I think we do need a debate about whether the royal family, the British working royal family, are appropriate for 2024. The public are not interested. That is why the media removed them from the headline. They put them in the headline to test whether people are going to read and whether people are going to click. If they don't meet the threshold for interest, they immediately get removed and another story goes to the top. Kate's not even on the homepage today. The public interest is that low that yesterday's visit isn't even in the top 40 stories on the homepage. The royal family need to change. There's lots of people out there in the land of TikTok and other places that can help them by giving them advice. They either don't want to, or they can't, or it's a combination of both. Happy Friday. Sorry to drone on. Comments are open. Let me know what you think.
It took King Charles approximately 3 weeks to make the photo call and comfort his subjects and make headlines after the tragedy. Will and Kate, we're nearing 3 months in order for them to do the same, but I guess it's better late than never. I'm still waiting for them all to stop the hate campaign of the royals who actually care. Call off the trolls, cease paying the bots, and stop secretly briefing. Pivot, please. Princess Meghan championing young girls where she shared that she knows what it's like to be bullied. This was not a photo call, but sharing a global spotlight to positively impact others over shared experiences, built upon years of focused dedication and authentic work ethic. We can thank Miss Doria for instilling resiliency, empathy, and kindness into a woman who was born to be a princess in heart and soul and in fact. We loved seeing Meghan on the red carpet at the Children's Hospital LA Black Tie Gala, but do you remember when she showed up to visit them earlier this year? She met some little patients and read aloud to them at the hospital's Make March Matter campaign. Each year, the hospital invites notable people and asks businesses to support their Literally Healing program, which gives away more than 65,000 books to families per year to promote literacy and also provide therapeutic resources. You'll always find Meghan showing up.
Thank you, nurses, for all you do.
Isle of Britain has 4 full-time working royals. They even had their duchess make an appearance this week. You know, the one who had a whole PR campaign to lessen the public's expectations of her? Yet the papers just want to focus on Meghan, who left them over 4 years ago. Obsessed. Harry's wife is a public figure, but she's also an American private citizen who does not take funds from the British taxpayer like others. Prince Harry is currently traveling the globe doing service work, and it's directly following their joint visit to Colombia. In my humble opinion, I think that as a couple, they decided to have one parent stay home with their very young children and also have at least one of the co-founders of their family production company and foundation be there to continue to run it. The British papers need to do some real focusing inward instead of being obsessed over Harry and Meghan. Or maybe just fairly focus on the good work that they're doing, because at this point, the invisible contract is no longer lucrative. The current monarchy is a shell of its former firm, and I believe that readers want uplifting stories, not cruel, unstable pettiness. Anyway, if you're like me and you prefer words like space, freedom, clarity, happiness, and love, don't forget to leave your comment.
Not all royals seem to love Australia. Harry and Meghan said that their 2018 visit changed everything. Did Australia break them?
No, I don't think Australia broke them. I think they loved Australia, and I think Australia responded to them. Bear in mind, in those very early days of Meghan and Harry, Meghan got an incredible reception from the public, both at home and abroad. She was literally, I mean, if Diana had been a breath of fresh air, you can multiply that by 2 for Meghan for all sorts of reasons. She was seen as a very, very exciting future royal. Well, she was a current royal, but, you know, representing the future of the royal family. The problem with Harry and Meghan's tour of Australia, as far as they were concerned, was that it was a massive success. In Meghan's terms, it was a smash hit. People loved them. Wherever they went, they loved Australia. The trouble was, it didn't get any recognition. When they got back, you know, there was no, there were no trumpets, there was no fanfare. They just came back, and as far as palace officials were concerned, hey, it's another royal tour. You did fine. You did a good job. It's what expected of you. And listen, next week you're going to open up a library somewhere in the Midlands of Britain, and it is going to be a bit rainy and wet, and it won't take long, but there you go. So, you know, it gave Meghan a taste of the more glamorous and exciting side of royal life. And I think she and Harry had expected that they would get much more praise and recognition from that tour. And in fact, according to them, all they got was resentment. Meghan wasn't praised for being so popular. The palace machine began actually to resent her. So in the same way that it was a watershed, if you like, for Charles and Diana, so it was for Harry and Meghan.
Many royals have done since the Queen visited back in 1954. How reassuring are they for Australians that the monarchy is there for them and that they care?
Well, you know, the royal family is acutely aware that in many parts of the Commonwealth, not least Australia, you know, things may change. There's been one referendum. There may very well be another. Who knows, you know, which way it would go. But Australia is very important to the royals because it's close to their hearts. It's a place they like. They enjoy being there. They always have a great visit there. The public responds to them very well. I was with the Queen there in 2011, which was her last visit to Australia, and really it was kind of her last big overseas tour. And the one thing that surprised me, amazed me there, as it did almost every time, you know, I travelled anywhere with the Queen, was the incredible public response. I mean, you get it. 1954, she's a new queen, the war's just over, you know, there were no thoughts of getting rid of the monarchy, and everybody waved flags and, you know, shouted.
Hello, my people. Lady Rose here. How y'all doing? To all my new subscribers, you welcome it. And my returning subscribers, you all know I love you. You know, I don't know. But you know what? I'm really not surprised by these people's behavior. You know, this is gaslighting 101. And in the wrong, terrible way. I mean, look at those people's faces. Look at how all of them look, from this man to all those women and everyone around that table. This, I don't know if it's GB News or the other ones, all those other channels. These people are so miserable. But you know, the material that made these people is the same material that created their ancestors who sold us. The same people who colonized us and mistreated us, tortured us heartlessly. And guess what? They are still out here. Their descendants. Look at what they are continuing to do to us. They will never accept being wrong. Never. Because the material that created them came from Lucifer, they did not come from human beings. Because if you came from human beings with what Meghan Markle said about her being bullied by these people, and you are trying to downplay that and thinking that she is really just making things up because she lives in a mansion, because she wears 2,000-pound dress, she has a right to be bullied and diminished and being like, it's not being criticized. What did she do to deserve any kind of critics from you guys? Okay, let's say she's an actress. She was in Suits. She played her role wrong. Criticize that. Let's say she was in Rwanda working on water, on clean water, before she got married to the prince. Criticize what she did there was wrong. Whatever she did was wrong. Criticize anything that she did in her life being wrong. But to criticize, to bully a human being with every single word that comes out of your mouths, everything that you guys say about her, somebody need to take feces and take her, remove clothing from her body and expose her to the public and do whatever you guys do, say stuff that I cannot repeat on here for YouTube to shut down my channel. You say those ones in your articles? Are those words normal words that you would use to say anything about the Queen of England? Are those common words that you guys use against Kate Middleton or her family? And tell me that's not bullying. And because Meghan Markle lives in a mansion, she deserves to be bullied. Did you work for that mansion? Did you, your father, your rotten ancestors, your filthy, racist, rotten, ugly people, did they give her the mansion where she lives? Did your family contribute to buy her the dress that she wore? And that's why she deserves to be called a certain name. She deserves to be spoken to certain way because she is rich. Why aren't you using the same words against William, who is getting free money from your taxes? Them against Kate, who is sitting down there mumbles and gets all the money from you guys without doing anything? So when Meghan goes and tells the kids that she's the most bullied person, you think that was wrong, something to tell the kids because she's rich. See, all of y'all guys have very little brain. That's why you guys are threatened by Meghan Markle. Because you're not smart people. Bunch of y'all guys sitting around that table. All of y'all guys around this media, these haters, all these lunatics, racist, rotten soul, ugly souls, low life humans. I mean, look at y'all. Look at how you look. Look at how you sound. I pity your children. If you have one, I pity your partners if you even have level-headed partners who do actually condemn what you do for a living. If this was my life, making money off of a hate and hating somebody because of their race, hating somebody because of their status, hating somebody because of how different they look, I would be ashamed of myself. I would be. But because the material that made you, it's a ridiculous material. That's why you can't see. You can't see what you're doing wrong. Poor mind, poor spirit, poor everything. You know, I'm sad to tell you all guys, all those people never went anywhere to learn journalism. And when you look at all of them, None of them even sound smart, because guess what? They've never been to school. These people created schools themselves. They came up with their school system and then planted it everywhere in the world. But sad thing, they are the uneducated people. If any of these people would at least go to what is called university, the universe. See the word universe is there? They could have been little bit more matured and even process the words that comes out of their mouths. But because of what they are, a bunch of no people, the nobodies. You know how these people get the position where they are? They get it through their pants, through down there. That's how they get these positions. They got placed in those positions by some other people who laid down with them. None of them is a professional. All of them combined, even this Piers Morgan, all of them, never been to any kind of schools. They got all these jobs through relations. That's the kind of people that we're dealing with right here. And this is the kind of person we also dealing with, the vice of the, the vice president, the former president of the United States of America. This guy here that you're dealing with. He also got all this, everything that he got through the other relations. These people, that's how they connect themselves. It's a very unintelligent seeds of chromosomes that were placed around, and look at how twisted they are. They are twisted to the core, because you know what? It's what the material that made them. It's not the material that made you and myself. It's a very sad people deep down with low self-esteem. Do you think a person like me would just stand there to start hating on any human being because of how they look? I should darn sit down there, feel terrible about myself to start hating on somebody to this extent. I should really hate myself to sit down there and hate on anybody out here. But you know, when you're coming from a long line of people with low self-esteem, with a low IQ, with low everything, low chromosome, low testosterone, low estrogen, low everything, this is what you get. This is the series of people that you get. I mean, look at all of them. And did y'all guys see the other one who said that I will never lay down with an N? And who do you think want to lay down with you? And who want to lay down with the material that created you? Low testosterone, low estrogen. I mean, just look at you. Just look at you. I don't know if there are lots of black brothers who would also want to, I mean, some of these people, I feel so sorry for them though. Like I told you all guys, it's the material that created them. A powerless material. That's why they are threatened by Meghan Markle. And that's why they are the way they are. Prince Harry left all of y'all. Left all the whiteness. He's out here with the wife that he loved the most. Did y'all hear what he said? His daughter took after his wife's hair. Yeah, that hair came from black woman. Yeah. Lots of hair. Not the hair that you're going to sit down there, count them and put them through strainer and start counting them one by one, and then you say, I counted 255 follicles of hair. The real hair. That's what the prince wanted his daughter to inherit. From the rich DNA. That Boris's sister called what? And did y'all hear the Boris' sister? What she came there and said? She, for all these years, did not know how to choose her words carefully. And she was the news editor, which means she's a journalist, right? And her brother was the prime minister of her whole country. So she did not know the words that she chose were not good words. So all of a sudden, she just learned that right now the words were racist. Bunch of uneducated, low self-esteem people, low stamina, low everything people. So Meghan's red dress shook the Kensington Palace. So you saw these two bullies coming out. Something's wrong with these bullies. They look horrible. And that bully boy is kind of holding himself like a little school child. They're scared to come out in the public, but guess what? That red dress shook the entire palace. They came out. So these people literally waited 3 months after all those attacks, after everything that happened to come out. I'm still waiting when they're going to talk about that racism. I'm still waiting. The racism that burnt cars, destroyed properties that belong to immigrants in that country. That attack, it was very well broadcasted out here by their own media. It was everywhere on their papers, on tabloid papers. We saw their leader came out about a month later, but we didn't really hear any kind of statement coming from them addressing all that racism. And 2 minutes after Meghan came out, it shook them. Shook the low testosterone, low estrogen. And they came out. Meghan is gonna keep you all guys on your toes. That's what the melanated spirit does. That's what melanated people do to lots of all of y'all racists with low self-esteem. Y'all say you better than everybody, you better than the God Almighty, but why are you the way you are? Why is your self-esteem so low? Why? Y'all need therapy. Come sit on the other side of my table. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna teach you to love yourself. Yeah. And losers, lunatics, racists, derangers. And this guy who came up with, well, Meghan was very well received in Australia. And she wanted to be praised for being received well in Australia by the royal family. I don't believe Meghan Markle has that low of self-esteem. I don't believe Meghan Markle want to be praised because she did something or she went for that engagement. You all thought that Meghan bought like a golden ticket for being into that family. That's how she saw the world. No, Meghan is from Hollywood. Meghan was actress. She was a public figure before this family. This family actually needed fame from Meghan Markle because that family is a rotten family with bad reputation. Not lots of people are proud of that family. The world does not like that family. The Commonwealth does not like that family. That family has done lots of bad. I mean, look at the history from Kenyan people. by this monarchy. The people of Kenya in Africa. Nobody likes this family. This family actually hit the jackpot to get the black sister in there. But guess what? Because of their low self-esteem, they couldn't keep the sister. They were threatened by the sister's popularity. The sister's melanated sister made a hot sister we're talking about here. Hot, hot, hot. Habanero hot we're talking about. That sister pinned this prince's head. The prince left the palace walls. And the prince laughed with the sister. The prince moved. Left everything he ever known for the black sister. That's how hot that sister, Meghan Markle, is. Meghan did not need anything from y'all guys to be popular. She was popular. I mean, BBC bought the suits. Watch that show and come back. We're going to talk afterwards. Okay? Watch and come. I mean, Meghan was raised by a good mother, by a single mother who taught her to be helpful to others. She was doing all those stuff before the royal life, for God's sake. She did not need you guys to praise her for doing good to people. Watch the videos. Go to Rwanda. Google about Meghan Markle. She was going into India, helping the schoolgirls with the menstrual products. She was doing that before getting into this family. She did not need any praises from y'all guys. You guys have that low self-esteem because your heart is so rotten, messed up, twisted by the low testosterone that made you. It gave you some abnormalities in your brains. That's why you have that low self-esteem, which Meghan Markle does not have. She was raised by a black mother. What you want me to tell you people? I'm gonna stop this video right here because this thing just makes me really mad that I can't even control myself. I don't want to say stuff that I'm gonna regret later. I love you all, guys. Please subscribe to Isabella Beck's channel. Also go to my brother Baron's channel, the Royal Success. Go support those channels and all other success-friendly channels. We are one family here. Let's support each other. I'm gonna talk to y'all guys again tomorrow. Bye for now. I said tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to make videos tomorrow, but I will come back. Okay, bye.